We have Mom Jodi joining us here at the Radiothon. Jodi, thanks for coming down.
You're welcome.
And we've been talking about your son, Mac, who is how old now?
4.
Okay. And Mac was diagnosed at this hospital with something that has a lot of long words, and I know you're going to explain it to us, but what does Mac have?
We're not going to try to say it. Don't worry.
So Mac has a condition called immune or idiopathic thrombocytopenia purpura. It's also called for short ITP. It's they don't really know what causes it, but essentially what happens is his own immune system is attacking part of the blood components called the platelets in your bloodstream, which causes bleeding and bruising easily. So he's here to get treatment for that, and unfortunately he was diagnosed as a chronic illness, and so whereas some kids with ITP outgrow it, Mac will not be, and so he'll be here getting treatment for life.
So this is something that he and you you and your family have to kind of learn to cope with, and I'm sure things change a little bit as they get older. So are there other conditions that he could get after getting this condition? Is there anything else that you have to, what are some things that you have to worry about?
Well, so with him, we had to know how to first off just manage the ITP itself. We had to know what kind of outward symptoms that Mac shows us, that his platelets might be low. His platelets are always abnormally low, but sometimes when they fall into a really dangerous zone, so for example, he gets the medication that he receives if his platelets are below 15,000. He starts showing symptoms around 30,000. When he's around 30,000, we do weekly blood draws to determine when he's below that 15 mark, so we know when to give him medicines.
Wow. Yeah,
so there's just a lot to know about it. And of course, one of the big thing is injury prevention with those kids, because if he has a fall, it's much more serious. And I have to kind of know about where his platelet level is to determine whether or not I need to take him to the hospital or if he's, just going to be okay to be monitored at home.
And at 4 years old, I mean, kids at 4 are very active, so that's got to be rough on you.
We joke about it. We say he doesn't know that he has ITP because he is my wildest child. I have 2 other children, and he's jumping from the couch.
Isn't that how it always works?
Clearly, if he knew, he would be more careful.
Probably not. He just likes to give his mother a heart attack, I think.
Yeah.
800-456-2772 is the number to call. Jodi, you were talking about the medication that you guys have to give Mac, and it's first of all, it's an amazing thing, but it's kind of expensive.
Yeah. So he gets a medication that costs several $1,000s. It's actually somebody else immune cells spun out, and so he's essentially getting somebody else's immune system to help booster his own immune system. It's several $1,000s. Our insurance company says that it's a medication, even though in my eyes it's some kind of a blood product. But because of that, there is no generic medicine of it, and it costs us $1,000 each time he gets the medication.
And that's after insurance. That's $1,000 out of your pocket.
That's what we pay out of pocket. It has nothing to do. He's hospitalized when he gets the medicine, and it has nothing to do with the hospitalization. It's subsequent of any deductible we pay.
So how often does that happen then?
Well, so there is no guarantee either that this particular treatment will work for him. So he has had it 3 times. He had it 3 times after his first year when he was diagnosed. And he is now in remission and has not needed that medication.
Oh,
well, that's
amazing.
Great.
Yeah. So there is no promise. So he could fall out of remission at any time and need the medicine, and it might not work. And so then we need to go to a different type of medication. So I'm always kind of hoping for more research to be done on ITP, for different medications to come out there to treat it, especially since it is a lifelong chronic condition.
We've talked about research several times during the Radiothon. It's 100% funded by grants and by donations. And this is another perfect example of why we need the money donated to find cures.
Well, and the other thing about Mac that's kind of interesting is that as he was first diagnosed when he was 1, there was discussion in previous years to remove somebody's spleen to help treat the disease. And then there was also discussion about having a bone marrow biopsy after he's had it for a year. But because of research and everything that was been done over the years, they decided he didn't need the splenectomy. It probably wouldn't help. and that he also didn't have to go through the procedure of the bone marrow biopsy.
So some unnecessary procedures were eliminated because of research.
Right. And that was partially because our team of doctors here consulted, within the facility and with other facilities about what the latest ITP treatment was. And so I'm so grateful for that group of doctors and consulting with us and trying to determine together as a team what we should do and how we should treat Mac.
Well, Jodi, thank you so much for coming and sharing Mac's story, and we're glad he's doing well, and we hope he continues to beat this, and we hope that there are more medications that are discovered. And once again, research dollars, folks, sometimes it's that simple. We just need the money to help find cures and treatments and slowly eliminate things that maybe aren't needed.